Howdy, y'all. It's favorite trainer with a belt buckle helping you pass the NASM CPT 2025. Guaranteed, if you listen to these words, these PowerPoints are going to make sense of these 800 pages. When you finish it, read the book. As a trainer of 20 years, I talk about all the successful things that you need to do. Volume 2 is now out. You will have questions in this that are not anywhere else. We've helped over 5,000 people pass this. Go through today's video, the PowerPoints. We have a podcast that will help you get through it. That's the study guide, as well as a guaranteed to pass in 30 days. Keep showing up. All righty, y'all. Let's get through the 7th edition NASM textbook. We have a guarantee to pass the sucker 30 days. It's going to take away your stress to focus on the main topics. First things first, personal training industry is expected to increase faster than the USDL. What that means is we're going to be getting about 70,000 new trainers in 2025. Unfortunately, most will quit within the first year, 18 months. It's because we do not have the technical skills, the people skills, the business skills. That's what you need to get to have the confidence to build a book of business. All things we teach you at Show Up Fitness, but you got your textbook right now and you got to get through it. So let's help you focus on some basic topics for today, starting with the leading causes of death. Most leading causes are preventable and or reversible. Billions of dollars are spent annually on the American obesity epidemic. And you and I are at the front lines helping people move properly, giving them the motivation, discipline to show up regularly and get the results in a safe manner. And that's what we're going to help you with. We have to identify these terms such as obesity. It's a BMI, which is body mass index greater than 30 and or 30 pounds overweight. You take the person's mass over their height in meters squared, and that's going to give you the number. A desirable range for adults is between 18.5 to 24.9. We'll have a bunch of photos in here of us at our seminars with our partnership with Equinox and Lifetime. Get to a hands-on learning opportunity to surround yourself with like-minded professionals, because that's going to level you up to become a successful personal trainer. 66% of Americans over the age of 20 are overweight, 34% and or 72 million are obese. The type of question that you're going to see on the exam would be, which of the following would be considered obese? And they're going to have 18, 20, 29, and then 32. The correct answer would be 32 because it's above 30. We're predicting by 2030, which is right around the corner, 35% of children are going to be overweight. And that's just gut-wrenching. It needs to begin with us educating the masses so we can get in front of this. We should not have these statistics. And unfortunately, today we have so much miscommunication around the education on moving properly, nutrition, and those are all things that we need to buckle down and learn so we can be that expert. Overweight is a BMI greater than 25, below 30. So if you are 25 to 30 pounds overweight, that would be considered overweight. Cardiovascular disease. Osteo is the basic unit for bones. Basic unit for the nervous system is the neuron. Basic unit for the muscular system is the sarcomere. So we look at the prefix osteo, that means bone. Arthro is going to be talking about bone articulation, and itis is going to be inflammation. These are all things that trainers should be able to assess and train appropriately. If your client has arthritis, just remember this: motion is lotion. Exercising is good for them. You're going to have to teach them the biopsychosocial model of pain and have a better understanding of why it's not feeling great. Great opportunities for trainers to connect and network with doctors, physical therapists, and RDs. Hypertension, it's called the silent killer. Blood pressure greater than 140 and or 90. That top number is called systolic. The bottom number is diastolic. How hard your heart contracts, how hard it relaxes. I'll have some videos where we get into the heart anatomy and so forth. But the best thing you need to know is, when in doubt, refer out. So if you take someone's blood pressure and it's 150 over 100 and they tell you it's great, just get them to go to the doc and get a checkup. You need that medical clearance. It's really important because it's called the silent killer. They could be working out and bam, they're dead. It doesn't look great on your resume. So be careful of the Valsalva maneuver. That's holding your breath. Peripheral heart action is a great tool, which is doing an upper body like a cable press into a body weight squat, because then you're circulating from the upper to the lower portions of the body, strengthening the heart. Probably avoid HIIT training, which is high intense, and or gripping and releasing, because that's going to have influxes on the blood pressure. Cholesterol, not as bad as everyone thinks it is. It's made 90% in the liver. The gallbladder stores bile, which is made in the liver. Blood lipids, known as cholesterol and triglycerides, are carried in the bloodstream by protein molecules. We have high density ones and low density ones. We also have very low density ones, but just these two are what they're going to focus on. Think of H for healthy. We want those to be high. Greater than 60 is optimal. Normal range is 45 to 55. Less than 40 is a risk. They call them the vacuum cleaners because they go throughout the blood and they take up all the bad ones, which are called the low density lipoproteins. The bad cholesterol should be less than 100. If it's greater than 130, it is a risk. Make sure to listen to the podcast. You'll hear my annoying ass voice going over this, but I will be in your noggin and I will help you pass it. Send us a 5-star review to info@showupfitness.com. We'll send you the NASM cheat sheet, which will help significantly. But if you really want to pass this in less than 30 days, the fastest we've ever helped someone, 3 days, get the certification for life. For $5.99, you're going to get our certification as well as all of our material to pass NASM in 30 days. And then you can move into becoming a qualified personal trainer with Show Up Fitness. Cholesterol levels greater than 200 is going to be borderline. If it's 230, 240, anything above 240 is going to be a risk factor. More than 50% of adults in the U.S. have a total cholesterol over 200. We need to exercise more, sleep better, stress less, and just be happier. Life is pretty freaking awesome. You shouldn't be stressing so damn much. You got to be showing up. Diabetes, mellitus type 1. We actually have 3. First one is going to be referred to as insulin dependent, usually onset less than 10 years of age. The pancreas does not produce insulin, which is an anabolic hormone. If catabolic hormones such as cortisol that breaks down, insulin builds up. Not a bad hormone. It does its job. It's anabolic. It's going to take sugar out of the bloodstream. But if you're not producing insulin, we need to take a shot. Type 2 is referred to as insulin resistant, but this is reversible. Type 1 is not. It's called onset because it's associated with obesity, excess abdominal fat, which is referred to as android obesity, whereas gynoid obesity would be more around the thighs and typically seen in females. This is reversible via exercise and this is reversible. Make sure to have medical clearance from the doctors because this is a metabolic disease. Carry some type of glucose tablet or something that you can give to your client in case an episode does kick in. Type 3 is gestational diabetes, which is gaining too much weight during pregnancy. Lack of physical activity. The WHO recognizes, the World Health Organization, that this is a major risk factor to chronic disease, the lack of activity. Few people are getting 30 minutes of activity 5 days a week. So we need to encourage this by being professional, being positive, and looking and talking the part of a fitness professional. And that is you and I and Miss Sarah. She's a trainer, West Hollywood, one of the top performing equinoxes in the nation, and she's kicking booty over there. Low back pain. 80% of adults have it. You should have a screening protocol. NASM's not going to teach you that. We do at our weekend seminars. We have Arthur right here. He was the #1 trainer at Crunch. Now he's over in Charlotte at the Lifetime there. Top 3 trainers there, kicking absolute ass at that gym. Listen to the podcast because he applied to Lifetime with his NASM, and guess what? They didn't hire him. They didn't even give him a call back. But because we know and have recruiters linked up because they want the best trainers, I got him connected, got hired, and now this is him at our weekend seminar doing a quadratus lumborum release on one of the students there. And so no back pain doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the QL. It's multifactorial. but a lot of times the QL could be causing low back pain. So with the proper screens of flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and tension, you'll be able to implement these soft tissues with our certification. We have three. We have our certification for life, our soft tissue certification, and our nutrition certification. Evidence of increased injury with knees, 80 to 100% ACL, which is the anterior cruciate ligament. This is a knee ligament. We also have a posterior cruciate ligament, a lateral collateral ligament, and a medial collateral ligament. 4 ligaments of the knee. This is a stecco technique that we have a student doing at one of our weekend seminars. This helps significantly with knee discomfort. And you will know how to screen your client and implement these soft tissue techniques that increase your confidence so much with our partners at the Prehab Guys, Dr. Waterbury, some of the top therapists in the world. It's great to have a screening protocol. So if a client does come in, they feel secure and safe with you. And that is why trainers who go through Show Up have the highest success with sales, because they're confident. We're competent. We understand the human body, the 14 muscles around the knee. You need to know that. Not for this exam, though. You just need to know the overactive, underactive ones. And always remember, the adductor magnus is overactive. And if you were to go more distal to where her elbow is, that would be the VMO, which is going to be underactive. Protocols that they're going to be implementing within the NASM are going to be the OPT model. Multiplanar movements, transverse plane, are where most injuries occur. Anytime you see that word proprioceptive enriched environment, just choose phase 1. Here's our Dallas seminar. We had a great group there. Cool story with the hunk right next to Megan on the left. He went to Lifetime in Vegas, got hired there. That's going to be our next seminar at the end of this month in February 2025. The future, NASM, National Academy of Spectacular Marketing. They got in front of you because they have all the money to spend in the world. Optimal performance training was designed by this hunk right here, Dr. Clark. Very, very knowledgeable physical therapist, but you have to understand physical therapists suck at programming. You don't learn that stuff when you're getting your DPT. You learn about injuries and prehab and rehab, and implementing exercise for people who are injured are appropriate, but they're not going to translate over to general pop and the clients who we're training. That's why the people at USC, like the Prehab Guys, Dr. Waterbury, they work with us because we understand the programming side. You as the trainer are the professional when it comes to movement competency. Link up with therapists and dietitians to make a better team. Anytime you see this stuff on the exam, you need to know it. Everything about flexibility, cardiorespiratory, core balance, plyometric, resistant aspects. These are the acute variables. We have a video on these as well. The OPT model is broken up into 5 phases, 3 parts. Stabilization has 1 phase, 3 phases within strength, 2, 3, and 4, and power. Here's how we program it, Show Up Fitness. It's systemized to make your life easier via a core movement pattern, and accessory. This is what's going to make your life easier. And this program right here is why so many trainers get hired at Equinox, Lifetime, Crunch, the best gyms out there, and start their own gyms and design programs online, because this plug and play makes your life so much easier. If you're going to do the vertical loading set within the OPT model, you're going to do a stability ball squat curl press, which is a dumbass exercise, stability ball press, dumbass exercise, stability ball row, dumbass exercise, single leg scaption, leg press, and then you repeat. Well, what happens if there's no stability balls? What happens if you can't do an exercise? You need to be able to look at the movement pattern and progress or regress based on the environment you're in. And that's what we teach you with our live calls with instructors at Equinox and Lifetime to understand variations of the exercises, correctives, and so forth. So if a client were to come in and you have a full body workout design and you're going to do back squats, but they tell you their knees a little jacked up, that's okay. A, you can do a soft tissue mobilization technique to see how it feels, or B, you can focus on upper body. You can move the second circuit, CCA2, up to the first one and just take out the lower body stuff for now. And you can do a push, but maybe the bench press is taken. It's a Monday. Well, you can also do an incline dumbbell. You can do a push-up with bands. You will understand the regress portions and the progress portions based off of the movement patterns. Here's what you have to submit to get your certification with Show Up Fitness. And this is what is going to help you get hired at these elite gyms, because these are the questions that they ask you. Design a program for a 35-year-old who's overweight. And when you go, okay, got it, ready to go, the manager goes, what? It took the other 25 trainers that just interviewed 25 minutes to write out a program, and you just told me you're already ready? What do you mean? Yeah, let me take you through it. CCA, boom. And they go, holy moly, we need you. You're hired. And then you become one of the top trainers there. Then you start making more money and developing streams of revenue because you are the best trainers that are out there. But you need to know this stabilization bullshit if you want to pass NASM. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation efficiency. Anytime you see that, phase 1, it's going to be some type of unstable surface. BOSU balls, stability balls, all that dumb stuff. Stability ball phase, or stabilization phase 1, sorry. You're going to have your 4-2-1-1 tempo, eccentric, isometric, concentric, and then isometric. That's what they're referring to. 0 to 90 seconds of rest, 12 to 20 reps, 1 to 3 sets, and 50 to 70% intensity. All of these things are highlighted within our guide as well as the cheat sheet. Strength level, you're going to have phase 2, which is supersets, stable into unstable. Bench press into a BOSU ball push-up. Pull up into a TRX row. Phase 3, they call muscular development, 0 to 60 seconds rest, which has been shown to be debunked. That's not where you're going to optimize hypertrophy, but that's what you have to know for NASM. 6 to 12 reps. Phase 4, maximal strength, 1 to 5 reps, and you're resting longer periods. Power is the last phase, phase 5, and this is going to be called PAP training, post-activation potentiation. You do a superset, something heavy and explosive, or explosive into something heavy or explosive. Typically, it's going to be like a heavy bench press, 85% into a plyo push-up. Or it could be a jump squat into a back squat between 1 to 5 reps. You just need to know the percentages. 1 to 5 reps is going to be 85 to 100%. Longer rest periods. So you do your jump squat into the back squat, then you would rest for 2 to 5 minutes. They're not going to ask you, is it 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes? You're going to have an example of a back squat into a tuck jump, a back squat into a stability ball squat, a bench press into a row, and then something else, which is not going to be the answer. So you're looking for the same muscle group back to back, explosive in phase 5, unstable in phase 2. The summary, this is going to be a huge block of the NASM test. You're going to have 2 hours to take this exam. People, when they go through our program, are passing it in less than 30 minutes. You're going to get through this because you can't get a refund. You got one of those giant bundles. That's all right. They're a great marketing company. Is reading a textbook going to make you a great technician? Knowing how to tactily implement maneuvers and procedures for your clients, auditory cueing, and then perturbations that are going to add value as the trainer. If you put your client on a stability ball and you count out those reps for 30 seconds, they're not going to see the value in working with you. So when you sell, because you have to, and trainers that show up are some of the best salespeople out there because we're confident in our product. We can help anybody. The average textbook trainer only understands their body. That's the difference. When you have that confidence, knowing it doesn't matter if you have an injury, a metabolic, pulmonary, cardiac disease, I will get you into the right hands to be safe, and we will progress you into the goals that you want. And that's what we teach at Show Up Fitness. We have a map. You can literally click on videos that are within our app and our platform. It holds your hands. Can't get that refund within 30 days. We have a guarantee to pass. You will get our certification. You will pass NASM. If you fail it, which you won't, but if you were, we will repay for it. And then you can start your journey into a successful career by understanding the hands-on aspects and getting more involved with mentorship and internships. And if you want to work at elite gyms, that's where we come in because we will get you hired. It's all about showing up. Have a great day.